friends, we are here for the last chapter of David Walliams' The Beast of Buckingham Palace. Now, you've been answering with complete sentences all along, restating the question, answering correctly. This is the last time on this one, so do your best. Make sure you click submit and make sure you answer them all. Let's get started. Chapter 50, Light. As bats squeaked from them from above. Squeak, squeak, squeak. The gang swam for their lives. When the two children of the old ladies had reached the end of the underground tunnel, they dived down through the underwater passage that led out to the Thames. Gasp! As soon as they came up for air, they could see something terrifying in the distance. Buckingham Palace was illuminated by red and gold light. The 10 flaming king's beasts, led by the griffin, were emerging from the top of the palace and letting off their deafening cries. The dragon was breathing fire at those on the ground. Woomph! The poor people were fleeing for their lives as the earth was scorched around them. The Lord Protector's airship descended through the clouds and began blasting the revolutionaries as they fled. Zap, zap, zap! Boom, boom, boom! "Mama! Now!" cried Alfred, even though she couldn't hear him. "Now!" Just then there was an almighty blast. Kaboom! Buckingham Palace, the home of the royal family for hundreds of years, exploded. Shards of the ancient sword glistened magically as they tore into the beasts. They let out blood-curdling cries. "Oh!" The fire caught the airship, and it burst into flames. Boom! And plunged to the ground. Crash! Thick black smoke billowed up into the sky. Whoosh! For a moment, the shapes of the beasts could be seen within the black clouds. The griffin beat its mighty wings one last time as the Lord Protector's face let out a silent scream. Then all 10 of the king's beasts vanished into the air, into thin air. Might hauled herself out of the Thames and onto the riverbank before giving a helping hand to the 5 elderly ladies and the young king. Thousands of people were now swarming in all over the city, watching the clouds of smoke from Buckingham Palace snake up into the sky. A sky where now the Queen had joined her king. The people were dirty and dressed in rags. The young king, his face blackened, and his ripped pajamas wet through from the river, fitted him perfectly with them. As Alfred had been kept under lock and key in Buckingham Palace for his entire life, none of the people recognized him. "Your Majesty," began Agatha. "Shh!" hissed the young king. "Alfred is fine." "Aren't you going to tell them who you are?" "Why should I?" asked Alfred. "Because we need to rebuild this kingdom," reasoned Agatha. "Yes, and we all need to do it together. Everyone equal and as one." "Cool," remarked Might. "Come on." The ladies-in-waiting began tending to the sick and wounded, of which there were many. Meanwhile, Alfred took Might's hand, and together they clambered over the rumble that was London. They headed towards what was left of Buckingham Palace. Amongst the burning rubble of the palace, Alfred found the remains of one of the revolutionaries' Union Jacks. The flag was blackened and burned, but still a powerful symbol of a once great nation. With pride, he held the flag aloft and waved it in the air. Swoosh, swoosh. The people stopped and listened to what this 12-year-old boy had to say. "This great nation belongs to us all," he began. "Every single one of us. Every man, every woman, and every child. Together, and only together, can we rebuild her, brick by brick." "Hooray!" cheered the crowd. At that moment, the dark clouds parted, and the sun shone on the lonely island for the first time in years. "What is that?" asked Might, squinting up at the sky. "Light," said the boy with a smile. "At last, light." The end. And that does it for our Beast of Buckingham Palace. Now, you're going to answer those last questions, and then you're going to have a final project, which I want you to take your time with. I will give you extra time so that you can do a good job on it, because I want these to be colorful, bright, and depict the book as it would be in a promo. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. I hope you enjoyed The Beast of Buckingham Palace. I know I sure did. You can check out a bunch of his other books all listed right there. You can check out The Boy in the Dress, Mr. Stink, Billionaire Boy, Gangster Granny, Demon Dentist, Rat Burger, Bad Dad, Ice Monster, Midnight Gang, Grandpa's Great Adventure, or Great Escape, and Awful Auntie. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. Wonder what we'll read next.